Hey, all right. How's it going? It is November 4th or 5th, whatever it is, Wednesday, November 5th, 2014. I am making this video to accompany my How to Hire a Developer Without Getting Scammed podcast. I've had a couple of people say that it takes a lot longer to install Flurry or other things that I make claims to in my questions. So this is just a quick video to show you how quickly it is to install some of the things on my list. Right now I'm going to install Flurry, and I'm going to show you how quickly it can be done, especially for people who are billing themselves out as professionals, right? So what I did is I created a new project in Xcode 6. I created a new project in Xcode 6. This is what it looks like. It's just a blank project. Here's my app delegate file. I'm going to run it now so you could see what comes up. It's nothing. There's nothing here. There was no calls. Now I have little snitch on my computer so you would see if it tried to make any calls to Flurry, which it has not. So I'm going to show you how quickly it is, how quick I could add Flurry to a project. All right, so let me get rid of that. Let me go back to Finder. Now this pod file, this is a pod file that I'm going to drop in because I'm going to use CocoaPods to install Flurry as opposed to go to their website, download it and all that. But you can still do that and do it almost as quickly. So I'm going to drag this pod file into this file here. If you don't know about CocoaPods and pod files, I could get into that in another podcast or another thing, another video. But I'm going to bring up my terminal. I'll go CD and then drag this folder here, and then hit enter, and then do pod install. And that's going to install what's in my pod file. Oh, wait, I left a bunch of stuff in my pod file. Or I don't think anything's activated in my pod file. Let's find out. Yeah. So notice I'm doing nothing, just waiting for it to, yeah, okay. So there's nothing in the pod file. Oh, plus my CocoaPods is an older version. All right, well, we'll come back to that. So let's see, download dependencies, generating pod project, integrating clients, and from now on, use Flurry workspace. Okay, so it still generated the pod, but let me take a look at, well, first let me go here, and now I'm going to close, right? I'm going to close that. That was my Xcode proj. I'm now going to open my Flurry test XC workspace because I'm now using CocoaPods, evidenced by the pod file and the pod log file. So I'm going to open that. It's going to look the same with the exception of having this folder here. Instead of just having Flurry test here as it just did, okay, that's the way it just looked. Now I'm adding pods, a pod file, or I'm sorry, CocoaPods, and nothing added because I have this closed out. This is my normal Storm Factory. It's actually longer than this on what I normally use. I thought I had made it simple. So I'm going to make this simpler. And just by deleting all of this, because this is the only line you need in order to install Flurry. That's it. I'm going to hit save. Now I'm going to go back down, go back to my terminal. I'm going to do pod install again. Now when you watch this dependency here, it's now going to say downloading. See right here? Downloading dependencies. Installing Flurry SDK 540. That's it. I guess I could twiddle my thumbs or go get coffee while it's automatically going and downloading it. But this is when I get into, oh, by the way, it's done. I can't even go get coffee. That's how quick it is. Okay, so that's done. Now I go back to here, which I don't need to even double click that. It's already been installed. That's it. It's done. Here's my pods. There's my Flurry SDK. Went and grabbed everything I needed to do. I'm done. Now, in terms of installing it, this is I'm making a video showing you how to install Flurry, and most of the time I've been talking about CocoaPods. So let's get to the actual Flurry, and I'll show you how easy this is. All you have to do is import Flurry H. That's one line of code. Now let me go to Flurry over, where was it? Firefox, I think I had it open. Yeah, now you essentially, all you have to do is add Flurry start session Flurry key. You have to add that in here. Bowl application did finish launching with options, okay? By the way, this page here is just your Flurry getting started page. They even tell you it takes 5 minutes, and it's taken me less than 5 minutes, and that's including making this video. So I'm going to add it to where application did finish launching with options. Go here, give it some room so you could see, paste. I'm done. Like, it's over. There's no more to do other than copy and paste in my app key, which I don't have an app key right now because I'm just doing this as a little experiment here. So let me just add a bunch of numbers, whatever. Let's assume that's my key, okay? Now I'm going to hit run, all right? Now remember before when I had nothing, it did nothing. It didn't ask for any permission to access the Flurry servers or anything like that. Now, when the app launches, you're going to see a little snitch window here saying, hey, we'd like to access Flurry, or Flurry would like access to connect to the internet. You know why it's doing that? There you go, Flurry test, and it's going to data.flurry.com because it's installed. That's it. That's all there is. It's 2 lines of code. Flurry is done. And for that, and I know it seems so simple, right? So I'm going to deny because I made up some, you know, whatever, my app ID, that's not real, that's fake, clearly. But for that 1 line of code or 2 lines of code, you have to add import, you have to import your Flurry, and you have to do your Flurry here. But other than that, for those 2 little things, here's what you get. Let me close this. All right, you get all of this. Sessions, active users, new users, session length, frequency of use, benchmarks, page views, blah, 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 blah. And it took 2 lines of code and less than 5 minutes. This video might be longer than that because I'm blabbing about stuff like CocoaPods and taking you back to this page. But if you're paying a professional developer, know this, that they add this 1 line of code here and 1 line of code there. Now, this says import in quotes Flurry H. That's because they're not doing CocoaPods. I did CocoaPods, so you have to add it like this with the greater than, less sign, or, you know, you have to add it this way as opposed to quotes, but it's still, you add this line, you add that line, you are done with Flurry. So please do not try to let any developer or coder or programmer tell you, oh, well, you know, hey, Flurry, it's hard to open over here. We gotta install this. It's all hard, and I don't know. We gotta do this testing and make sure it works. No, it's 2 lines of code. This line and that line, and importing it into your project. If I weren't using CocoaPods, I would basically just, you know, download the SDK here, and I would grab this and I would drag and I would drop it into my project. And then I would hit copy and then hit finish. That's how I would do it if I downloaded Flurry to my hard drive and did it that way. But I use CocoaPods because it's a lot more efficient. So that's it. I mean, I'm just blabbing now on the video because I'm giving it some extra length because the install of Flurry is already done. All right. MobileAppCoach.com. Listen to the podcast there to get the whole, it's episodes 3. So it's mobileappcoach.com/MAC003. This is Gregory and I am out. Thanks.